And I'm not afraid to say that, like, I don't know, confrontation in, like, dirty cities just sort of frighten me. I mean, I'm from outside of Philadelphia, so it shouldn't, but it just sort of does. But, so I was trying to think of, like, the one place in Richmond that I just have kind of no place being, like, there's no reason for me to be there. And I thought that that'd be an interesting thing to get into, and it ended up being, like, way more than I could have ever expected. But I went into Eugene's barbershop, which, like, from the outside is pretty intimidating, especially for somebody who looks like me. And, but I was kind of prepared. This is the place I'd scoped out. I was either going to do here or talk to the town, but talking to the town's a little too clean for me. But I got the Hasselblad. These are all shot on medium format film with the Hasselblad. And this was actually a week ago today that I shot these. It's right around noon. And so I got this really nice light to come through. But yeah, I just went in there and I got stared at, and then I asked if I could take some pictures. And the first two guys weren't too cool about it. But this guy George, he's the manager. He actually ended up helping me out a lot and kind of got everybody in on the idea. With the one kind of caveat being that I had to bring my prints back, that they might be interested in like buying some. And I have taken them back, and they are really interested in having a few of these. But yeah, this is a lot different than what I've done most of the year. This is more of what I was into when I was doing this type of work in high school. Just sort of the black and white culture, like high contrast. Like, I know there's a lot of stuff that's been done, none of this hasn't been done before, but as far as George is telling me, nobody's been in to take formal pictures there in like over 25 years. And that place is old, and he's been there a long time. But on Wednesdays, and today was a Wednesday, it's like Originals Day, the OGs, what they call them, come in. And they're the guys that come in every Wednesday, and they get their picture, or not their picture, get their haircut, and they get shaved, and this is one of them. And this is another guy, and back there's the same guy. Just the whole idea going in there was to just kind of take pictures of the way this place is run and kind of the culture behind it. And the whole thing was kind of, it was one of those things that I didn't realize the first time, but when I went back and talked to them, it was as strange for them as it was for me. Just having like a white art kid in their like barbershop was something that they hadn't experienced, which was really interesting for me to hear when I went back, because it kind of leveled the playing field. But yeah, so I spent a few hours there, took some pictures, and I mean, by the time I left, everyone knew everyone's name. And I think this is one thing that I really wish this thing had a sound component. I should have taken a Zoom mic when I did this shoot, but just the conversation that goes on in a place like this is unbelievable. Like I learned things about Richmond that I don't think anybody really should know. And like a lot of stuff that I just like have no need to ever repeat. But yeah, so I was just going for this different culture that I was kind of an outsider, and these pictures ended up being a lot more casual and sort of unconstructed, which is exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to go in there and become a ghost, and that's sort of what I did. And like at the same time, I just kind of got these interactions that I wasn't really expecting. Just these two guys, they're like in an R&B group together, and they decided to write rhyme the whole time. And this guy was just so wild. And this is Kyle. And this is this guy named Big Red he was the one guy that was completely against me being there. And he wouldn't let me take a picture of him until the very last shot where George asked him to turn around. But yeah, the whole experience was kind of strange and a little rough, but just we got this relationship now through this project that I'm going to go back there and keep shooting. And we're probably going to do a short film piece or short documentary on them. But yeah, so this piece was as much as a growing piece for me and getting over a certain, what do you call it, like obstacles, mental type of things. But yeah, I just realized that there's this whole other culture and this, I don't know, not to cut myself off there, but like you said, I'm the type of person who sits alone, and like right now, or like this morning, I was like, I wonder what's going on at Eugene's, and like my guess is now that that's exactly what's going on. It's the same exact thing. These people just sit around all day and talk trash. And this guy was there all day, never like got his hair cut. He got shaved, didn't cut his hair, and then he sat back down at the end and just was there I think, the rest of the time. But yeah, that's what I went for.
You took these on medium format film?
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I like the story, and I kind of want to hear more about it. I'll just probably ask you about it, privately, because it's kind of cool. But so what is the process though for getting these onto the paper? Like, how did you go about it? Like,
There's just yeah, I took the images, and then I think it was the next night, I hand processed these in the darkroom. It's a process I'm familiar with, did a lot in high school.
Okay.
And then I was going to print them on photo paper and do the whole darkroom chemical things, but time restraints and I didn't have materials for it.
So what did you give to, I guess, to Withkin or whoever?
Oh, I scanned these.
Okay, so these are digital prints.
I used
okay.
Yeah, these are digital prints, which I'm not going to say I'm not quality, but Withkin's not on my list right now. But yeah, so I scanned these. I worked with them in the lightroom just a little bit. I didn't have to do a whole lot except dust removal. When you do your own processing, you get all these little flaky dusts on the negative. But other than that, I mean, I was just really fortunate to have metered right and that I've gotten all this nice natural light, or else I don't know, these pictures wouldn't be nearly as interesting as I think they are.
Thank you. All right. Let's take them down.